What's up, guys? It's your boy Chris here. I'm here for a modest PC build. This is, if you, my camera person can please look at the parts. Um, these parts is for the most reasonable build I can get. This is going to be a 1440p crusher. Basically, any game we throw at it should be able to handle it, at least at high. Might not be able to handle ray tracing very well because we're using the Zen 2 architecture for ray tracing. But most games don't really utilize ray tracing yet, in my opinion, and I don't think it makes that big of a difference for the 40% performance hit you get. So we'll go over the parts real quick. So we'll start with the GPU. This is the RX 6800. It's about equivalent to, probably pretty close to like a 3800 RTX. So this should be plenty of power. This was on sale for $320, good price. Next thing we do, we got DDR4 RAM, 3200 megahertz. Pretty basic set, but this is something that I recommend for the most basic builds. It's under $40, and you get plenty of RAM for plenty of speed. This was actually surprising. This was actually under $70, and this is a 990 EVO Samsung that's PCI Express 4, so you get the fastest speeds. Maybe not the fastest speeds, but for this price range, you get a pretty fast SSD. 1 terabyte, which is basic, and the person that's going to use this computer is most likely not going to need that much more space. Next thing you went was the Ryzen 5500. It's a pretty basic 6-core multi-thread CPU, but it's able to have a base clock of about 4.5 gigahertz, which is plenty of speed for any modern game in the next like 5 years or so. This is plenty of speed. This was under $200 at the price of around $120, I believe. Pretty solid. Then we have the power supply, because without power, there's no PC gaming. And this power supply is 750 watts. Might be a little overkill for this, but this gives us expandability. If she chooses to go with a more powerful CPU or GPU, she's able to not have to get a new power supply. And this is bronze rated, so it should be pretty efficient. It's partially Molex connected, but that's kind of all you really need, because the stuff that's kind of hardwired into the power supply unit is going to always be there. There's not really a point of having the 24-pin motherboard connector being modular, because that doesn't make a difference. You know, it's always going to be there. Then you have the Prime B55 Wi-Fi edition motherboard. Pretty basic motherboard, but it does have the PCI 4 express slot. Unlike the cheaper versions, if you look like the A520M motherboards, they don't have the PCI Express 4.0 speed. So for the price difference, it was definitely worth just getting like the extra $30 to get something that's a little bit better. And I'm pretty sure this customer wants to use Wi-Fi, so this is built-in Wi-Fi, and it should meet all my customers' needs, no problem. It also has 4 RAM slots, so in case 16 gigahertz isn't enough in the future, she can just buy another RAM kit, pop it in there for the cheapest upgrade. And lastly, you have the CPU cooler. Now, the CPU does come with its own fan, but the fan does not, in my opinion, get the job done when it comes to gaming. So when you're gaming, you want to get the high FPSs, and this fan does not remove enough heat. So I always recommend my customers to kind of get the biggest cooler that fits in the case. So this one should barely fit the case that we have. The case I'm using is a recycled case, because you got to recycle, reduce, and reuse. So with the recycled case, this is going to fit in there just nicely, and I'll have that post on my media. Thank you. Please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my Patreon. Peace.